I've recorded this video to help those of you who need to have more love for yourselves. I'm sure you've heard that you need to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And for some people, thinking about loving themselves is thinking that maybe they should have a big head, or it's an egotistical way of thinking. But I think Bob Proctor said it best in the movie The Secret. He says it's a healthy self-respect for yourself. And I think that's right. I think that's the way we should think about loving ourselves. And so I've worked with so many people with this. When I work with them in my practice, I would always say to them, can you say to me that you love yourself? And a lot of people find that very difficult. They feel this feeling inside them that it's really difficult to say that. They've been grown up saying you shouldn't say that about yourself. But what I would like to help you with, if I can here today, is so you don't have that feeling. And it's such a magical thing to watch someone when we do this exercise and to see the changes in them, to be able to say that, I love myself. And they would say it, and I get them to look into my eyes and say this to me, I'm a stranger to you, say it to me. Say it, I love myself. And they say it, and you can see it written all over their face. There's just some magical change goes on inside. And so that's what I'd like to be able to give that same feeling to you in some way by recording this video. Like if you were to stand in front of a mirror and say, I love myself, would that feel strange or weird in some way? Well, you're the best friend you will ever have. And the best friend who knows everything about you, when you look in the mirror, is there in the mirror looking right back at you. They know your every secret, your every thought. So I'd like you to just think about that for a moment. That if you were to say out loud, I love myself, 0 to 10, how much resistance would you have to saying that? Why would you feel that in your body? If you had a person in front of you, a stranger, total stranger, going to say, I love myself, where would you feel that? Even if you don't feel that at this moment, just pretend by saying, well, where would I feel it? And you say, well, it'd be my tummy, my chest, whatever. Whatever pops to mind, just go with that. And so what number pops to mind when we saying that? What resistance would you feel to saying, I love myself? What number pops to mind? Okay, now with that number, we're going to do the EFT process. And if you've watched any other of my videos, you'll see I do a lot of EFT. And I think it's brilliant for this. There's so many times I've done this with so many people and they love it. So I hope you get the same feeling from this. So you have that number in mind of resistance to saying, I love myself. So just tap on the side of your hand and say after me. And it's important you say this out loud after me because this is part of the process. Say, even though I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. And one more time. Even though I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Then tap the eyebrow point. I have this number of resistance. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. I have this number of resistance. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. I have this number of not being able to say, I love myself. Take a deep breath in. Filling your lungs and release that now. Now I want you to say after me out loud, I love myself. And just notice, is there any resistance there? Or if you can't say it out loud, just notice what resistance you have there. Measure it again, scale 0 to 10. What number pops to mind? Okay, here we go again. Even though I still have this number of resistance, of not being able to say, I love myself, I'm okay. Even though I still have this number of resistance, of not being able to say, I love myself, I'm okay. Even though I still have this number of not being able to say I love myself, I'm okay. This remaining number of resistance, this remaining number of not being able to say I love myself, this remaining number of not being able to say I love myself, this remaining number of not being able to say I love myself, this remaining number, this remaining number, this remaining number, and this remaining number. Take a deep breath in. And release all that now. Very good. And now I'd like you to say out loud, I love myself. And just notice again, if you're saying it out loud, is there any resistance there? How do you feel about that? Saying that out loud, I love myself. And then also notice, if you're still having difficulty, where that is. And we're just going to do one more round of tapping on this. And just follow my every word. Just repeating my every word as I say it after me. Say, even though I still have this number of resistance of saying, I love myself, I'm okay. Even though I still have this number of resistance of not being able to say, I love myself, I forgive myself and anyone else who may have contributed to that. Even though I have this number of resistance of not being able to say, I love myself, because someone else told me I shouldn't, I am okay. Still not able to say, I love myself. Still have resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Still have some resistance to saying, I love myself. Very good. Take a deep breath in. And release that now. Very good. And I hope this video has been of some help to you. And if you have children, please do try and get them to say that they love themselves. Thank you for watching.